Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. And there are some winds going on in my house right now. Um, yeah. Like, wow, it just got crazy windy. I can barely see because it's starting to get dark, but I'm like trying to look out the window, like, okay. Or just because, I mean, it's still raining, it's still really windy, I'm still in the middle of a hurricane. Like, I'm not really. It's tropical storm at this point, and I'm way on the outskirts, but we're still getting all those storms. So obviously, that's because I'm recording this all on the same day. Like, every single part of this path has been recorded on the same day. Like, it's a Saturday. I got nothing else to do. I was prepared to, like, I'm just gonna stay in the house and do nothing, not going anywhere. So, yeah. I've just been like playing this and like, oh, then we'll take a break and we'll watch a movie or then we'll do this and like watching a lot of Star Trek. Watching a lot of Star Trek while we take our breaks for food and stuff. Anyway, back to this, but yeah, no, it just got really windy. So Kyoto winds. No, these are North Carolina winds. Anyway, Isami, Toshi, now I understand. I can't start ahem, with his voice. He's gonna die, so we don't have to worry about it. Like, sacrificing yourself for someone else. This is another part of what makes a true warrior. That's so not his voice. I don't know. I'm sorry. Whatever. Oh, in a way. Thanks, bro. Pant, 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 pant. That's what I would have sounded after about like 2 feet of walking. I flung my legs against cold, arduous ground, running until I felt like my lungs could burst. Literally, that'd be like 2 steps. Oh my god, I'm dying! He'd be like, bitch, you are so bad at this. I'd be like, anyway, I don't think I can make it. Then the echo of footsteps alerted me from the distance, and I rushed to hide in the bushes. I poked my head up from behind the bush to get a closer look, and I saw enemy soldiers in a group. Fuck! Had the enemies followed us all the way out here? Eh? What's the matter? I thought I heard something. Was it just my imagination? Bet you some animal or something. Yeah, you're probably right. The enemy soldiers spoke casually amongst themselves as they hiked down the trailway. I felt a great sense of relief as their footsteps grew further away, and I exhaled greatly. Suddenly I was struck with the memory of moments I shared tenderly with Iba. If something happens, no matter how big or small, send me a letter and I'll come for you. Like, why don't we have email? She's like, God, too bad we don't have a way to send instant messages. You don't look like yourself when you worry. I know it's kind of difficult to do in the present, but please, for me, keep your head up. I don't think that background was when he said that either. If I had my wish, I would have you with me, even if it meant by force. Again, not the right background. You were in front of the magistrate, but whatever. But if I did so, I know you'd regret it forever. Why would we regret it? We'd resent you, is what we would, right? He'd either have been saying, like, you'd resent me forever, or I'd regret, forcing you to come. So but anyway. Iba'd always show me tremendous kindness, and he seemed to want what was best for me. Don't say his name out loud, they're going to hear you. Animals don't say names. If he were somewhere nearby, I could really use him at a time like this. However, expecting to find him at the moment felt like such a tough endeavor. So rather than linger on that, I needed to focus on getting these documents to Osaka Castle without letting anyone catch me beforehand. I mustered all my power and started running again. There was no way I could continue running. My heart nearly burst from my chest, and my throat was so dry that it felt like I'd swallowed sand. However, there was no time to rest. I haven't a moment to waste, and I needed to head to Osaka Castle as soon as possible. My body didn't seem like it had anything left in it to get myself there. My exhaustion had consumed me, and as I lost my strength, I leaned against a tree to support myself. Every ounce of energy left in me was leaving me, one painful ache at a time. Spacey! A familiar, soothing voice called to me from afar. A voice belonging to someone I'd longed for dearly. Were my ears playing tricks on me? Was I hallucinating? She's like, I can't go any further. And he's like, sweetie, you're like right on the doormat. You're cool. Like, my legs gave out, and as I was about to crumble to the stony ground, he's going to pick her up. He's going to hold her. I was waiting, and she was like falling. I'm like, wait, Eba's going to come along and pick her up and carry her. We're going to have a CG of him carrying her. Here we go. Something like that. A pair of warm arms caught me delicately. And then... What? No, CG? Oh! What are you wearing? Oh, it's just like a little vest over your thing. But it's okay, I like it. I like the change. So it was you. I almost didn't believe it for a second. Iba? Surely I was hallucinating, but I wasn't. His hands held me tightly, giving me great comfort. His warmth almost rejuvenated me. This could have been a hallucination. Iba was here. He'd come back for me. No, you're probably literally like 5 feet from the castle. Well, what? What are you doing here? Why are... Oh, we're some way from Kyoto. You may have already been informed of this, but the Shogunate army has fallen almost everywhere, and the call to retreat's been made. We happen to be on our way to reinforce troops fleeing from the front lines. After Iba had informed of all that transpired, he looked at me sweetly, asking me a question. What are you doing here? And why are you by yourself? Did something happen to the Shinsengumi? Or Toshi? Hichikata and the others are... I calmed my ragged breathing in order to get Iba up to speed. So the Shinsengumi were holding their lines at the magistrate so I could escape. I must deliver this to Osaka Castle. I tightly gripped the knot of my knapsack tied around my back snugly. Are these documents strictly confidential? I nodded curtly, nervous to answer. Just then... Oh! No, Iba, don't be on our dad's side! Ah, there you are, Spacey. Suddenly, Father had appeared out of nowhere, which startled me greatly. I could only assume that for my father to make it to me so quickly, Inoue gave his life fighting. And we've been running and running and running and running and running and panting, and we're almost dead, and our father's like strolling all up leisurely. He's like, did you not realize you could have cut through there? You ran the long way, bitch. Like, Inoue's right over there. You could have just... But you went all the way motherfucking around. You took the long way. You know that, right? Are you Kodo? Have we met? Yes, when I was a child, I would often frequent your clinic. My name is Hichiro Iba. Father's eyes thinned as the memory returned to him. Oh, you're the heir to the Iba dojo. You sure have grown up. As much as I would like to celebrate this humble reunion, we're quite pressed for time. Mind handing my daughter over to me? Handing over? That's not exactly friendly, is it? What do you mean by that? No, Iba, don't hand me over! Iba became immediately suspicious of Father. Out of the darkness emerged Takeda, like a ghoul summoned from the shadowy mist. Finally, we meet again, Hachiro Iba. I've been waiting for this day. As Iba watched Takeda appear, his eyes widened with surprise. You're still alive after what happened to you? Still alive? No, I've been resurrected. Why, you ask? So I can kill you. He's such a bitch. Like, oh, you're still pretty, and you have gorgeous hair, but you're an asshole. Like, Takeda laughed maniacally, and his right arm, previously severed by Iba, reached for his sword. It's like a fucking claw, dude. I was right. It's a fucking scary claw. And then Takeda sprung from where he stood, charging towards Iba with a frightful lunge. They're like, son of a bitch, I ran and ran and ran, and they got here so fast. Your arm. You have an arm again? It's not... You should... Look at his beautiful eyes. Jesus. Iba quickly drew his katana out in defense. As their blades met, sparks scattered above them, and the steel hissed with each strike. What? What is going on? I was dumbfounded as well. I saw Iba cut Takeda's arm off. She's like, trust me. And that one's like a claw. What the hell? I know for a fact that I cut your arm off. You look a little confused. Does my arm bother you that much? Takeda smirked sadistically, his eyes gazing down upon Iba as he broke into laughter. This path is so good, dude. Just then I remembered something Sanin said. The reason for Takeda's foul mood may be related to something like the recent slump I was in. I suggest that you don't provoke him any further. Well, you do have a point. He should be reprimanded for exploiting his position in the interest of flaunting power over others. However, as they say, the cornered rat will bite the cat. It's better for us to be safe than sorry. Sanin had informed me that Takeda's behavior followed a similar path to his own. Sonnen, too, had lost his left hand, ending, as he thought at the time, his life as a swordsman. He hadn't lost his left hand. He just wasn't able to use it based on his injury. His arm wasn't chopped off. However, Sonnen was able to wield his blade once more because of... Iba, run! I screamed out for him, but... Oh, don't you dare kill my boyfriend! Yeah. Takeda's hair bleached to a brilliant white, and his eyes morphed into red pools. Then... Iba's sword was effortlessly smacked from out of his hands. Don't you touch my boyfriend. So easy. Takeda wore a confident, menacing grin. You should have stabbed him in the chest when you had the chance. Takeda, don't tell me you drank the water of life. My voice quivered as I asked him. Well, you're close, Spacey. Takeda had lost his arm completely. Bones and tendons alike. Water of life doesn't have the capability to regain limbs. Then how? My research wasn't limited only on how to create furies. My research has now expanded to see how I strengthen the furies even more than I'd imagined possible. Would I be able to successfully regenerate a lost limb? Or could I use the pre-existing limb as well? The man standing before me wasn't the kind, loving father I'd grown up knowing. The words coming from his mouth were something else entirely. I shuddered. Is this man really my father? No, thank God. I was unable to replace his arm with a human's. However, what if his arm was replaced with one from a creature that surpasses human strength? A creature that's... Well, that was me. A creature that surpasses human strength. As I'd asked, Takeda chimed in. Perfect timing. Why don't I show you? I told you I look like a claw. I will show you. My powers are beyond any humans. This is my demon's arm. Kodo forced him to drink the water of life and become a fury. In the place of his right arm, he now has a demon's arm. Oh God, who... Oh, wait. The arm of a demon chief from long ago. Ooh. Takeda flexed his right arm, which was wrapped in thick, bloody bandages. Girl, file your nails. Nasty. As the bandages were torn off the arm, we all witnessed the gruesome abomination that was placed where Takeda's arm used to be. I mean, this is horrifying. Damn! This was a good one to go down later. You're like, Kodo, you fucked up, man. You a fucked up individual. This can't be. He no longer looked like a human, and Iba was frightened by the intimidating display. Yeah, because not only, like, Iba could have kicked your ass, because he did, but now he can't because you have a demon arm, and that's not really fair. But, I mean, you know. Ha! I'm a changed man. I'm powerful now. Real powerful. So powerful, I'm unstoppable. Say that to Kazama, because he will kick your ass. Oh, this is great. Hey, Kazama! He thinks he's more powerful than you. He says he's better than you, and I should be his broodmare, not yours. You should kick his ass. Okay, while they're fighting, let's run. Brilliant! Spacey is a genius. Iba remained in his fighting stance, and he fixed his gaze at Takeda. Okay, you are not going to beat him to near death so that he has to take the water of life and become a fury. You leave him the fuck alone. You haven't changed a bit, Hachiro Iba. You got no guts. You're just a dojo bitch. Man. Look, you can't even hold your sword. You're like the way Voldemort holds his wand. Where like, it's just delicately there because my nails are too long. And it's like, I just painted my nails, okay? Look at him. Look the way he holds his sword. Iba, watch out! Yeah. An electric... I was seeing the blue and I was thinking electrical blue. And I was like, that doesn't make any sense. An electric duel erupted between Iba and Takeda as their clashing blades echoed through the mountains. Where's other people when you need them? Never around. Ugh. Iba kept up with the pace of Takeda's swings, somewhat parrying each strike well. But then... No, don't cut his arm off. Too slow. You're like a newborn turtle crawling out of water. It was clear whose strength was greater. Takeda's technique better resembled a wild beast's. He left Iba no room to breathe. Iba! That sounded too dramatic. I tried running up to him. Nuh-uh. Don't go closer, Spacey. What'll you do if you're sucked in? kill you. Fucking stab him, Spacey. My father grabbed my arm and held me back. Please let me go. At this rate, Iba will... I screamed frantically. Come to think of it, you cut off my arm. Just like this. God, no. Yeah, he would have... instead of... Iba cried in anguish as his blood splattered wildly. I could just sit and watch him in pain. Grunt. I pushed my father away to run towards Iba. I hope his arm's not cut off. Oh, this is what we saw. Iba, please tell me if you're all right. Iba. His left arm was sliced open, leaving what looked like a severe disfigurement. Oh, but he's right-handed, right? Even I could see that it would be impossible for Iba to ever wield a sword again. So is he a lefty? I've never noticed. The bone was snapped, and his flesh and muscles were torn apart, oozing blood on the rocks. Why don't you just show it to us, game? Even then, Iba had the strength to grit his teeth, holding his pained groans back. I'm sure that his pain was agonizing. His arm's still there, at least. We'll just sew it back, and it'll be useless, and he's going to become a fury. Fuck you, Takeda. Fuck you! I was surprised he hadn't fainted from the shock. He wielded such incredible courage and willpower to maintain consciousness. It was nearly godlike. Take that, Hachiro Iba. Doesn't feel too great, does it? And that's the end of the era of the famous Iba Dojo. You'll never use a sword again, Spacey. Spacey. I'm pretty sure you have a vial of the water of life. Because you probably had it. Sonnen probably gave it to you with the papers. Takeda sneered over Iba, laughing to himself. Somehow, Iba was able to return his taunts with a fierce glance. What's up with that look? I don't like it. Sounds like you want me to cut off your right arm, too. Is that it? Or do you want to be just like that little beast over there, too? As soon as Iba heard Takeda's insults, his eyes became thirsty for vengeance. Father, who'd been standing behind Takeda, spoke out in a low tone. Takeda? It seemed like my father was reminding him of something, and Takeda became disinterested. I know. You're saying that there's something more in store for her, yeah? Takeda stepped towards me. Iba's face warped in pain as he struggled to get up. Oh no. We're gonna die. Grunt. However, it seemed like Iba couldn't balance himself well, and he fell back to the floor. That's because his arm is half off. Everything in this path is reminding me of Monty Python lately. Your bloody arm's cut off! It's only a flesh wound. Iba! Sorry. I couldn't scream that with passion. I was laughing too much. I ran up to him and lifted his head up. How pathetic. You still plan on fighting with just one arm? Iba's eyes still burned with righteous fury, and he snapped back at Takeda. I still have my right arm. Even if you took my other arm and both my legs away. Nothing can hold me back from doing everything in my power to protect her. It's totally the Black Knight. Come back! I wanted to tell him that he needed to conserve his strength, but I held back from stopping him. He looked up at me and smiled warmly. Okay, but your arm's flapping off. So, like, how are you? I made a vow with you. We were little. Huh? The tender glow of nostalgia began to sparkle inside of me. What were those words? What happened to me when I was little? Now, let's just get this over with. This was so anticlimactic. Takeda raised his blood-stained sword in the air before swinging it towards us, then... Okay, I have no idea who's saying, what a sight to see someone so dedicated to a promise he made, even on the verge of death. I have no idea who it is. I'm full belief that your vow to protect her was not just words. That voice... Oh, ahem.
What a sight to see someone so dedicated to a promise he made, even on the verge of death. I'm in full belief that your vow to protect her was not just words.
I really figured it was one of the dudes, but anyway. Sen!
My apologies for such a delayed arrival. It took some time for me to locate your exact whereabouts.
He's really fucking short, or she's really tall. I don't know. Sen silently shot a grim look towards my father. Her voice loomed over us all as it carried with it a declaration directed toward my father.
You, tributary of the Yukamura clan! Not only are you in violation of stealing a demon's arm from Yase village, but you have given it to a fury. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yase village, a village hidden by Princess Sen's clan. Its protection from the demon's barrier bars any human from entering.
Yase village? Demon's arm? I had no idea what Sen was talking about. You know about the demon arm because Takeda said something about it, but... However, it seemed as though she was well informed of the subtext in Father and Takeda's relationship.
This violation marks your betrayal to the entirety of the demon clans. I can only assume you are well prepared to accept the punishment.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Rather than lecture me, shouldn't you be worried about getting that man some treatment? Sen gasped, turning towards us. As Father had pointed out, Iba's bleeding hadn't ceased and his skin turned completely pale. At this rate, it was obvious that he had only moments left to live. Kimigiku whispered in Sen's ears. Princess Sen, I'll stop them. Please lead those two to safety.
Kiku...
For a brief second, Sen's eyes were colored by what looked like anxiety. But immediately she returned to her noble state.
All right. Buy as much time as you can, and promise me you will return soon.
Kimigiku answered with a confident smile. Yeah, no one can beat Kimigiku. She's fucking awesome. Understood, Princess. Sen then lended me her shoulder.
Come, Spacey, we must hurry!
Don't lend me your shoulder! I nodded back at Sen and I got up, lending Iba support with my shoulders. Just then... You imbeciles! You think I'll let you go so easily? Kimigiku does. Go, Kimi. Takeda sprinted with the speed of a fury in order to intercept us, but then... She jumps in, she's like, excuse me, no. I'll be dealing with you. Although demons are forbidden to interfere with human history, now that you have received the demon's arm, you're no longer a human. You'll receive no mercy from me. You think you can defeat me? You're more deluded than I thought. She's a real demon, you asshole. Whatever. Time to test the power of the new and improved demon with the old. You have a demon arm. She's an actual demon. Although you have a man demon arm, but still, I would think an arm of a male demon is not as strong as a full female demon. I'm just saying. You male demons are stronger than female demons. You know what? Fuck that shit. Only in the humanity world do men think they're better than chicks, okay? I was like, hello. Most of the time, like, oh no, that's nice, man lion. You just lay there and do nothing, and I'll go out and hunt and, like, whatever, bitch. You just sit there with your pretty mate. Ah! I mean, seriously, in the animal kingdom, it's usually the male animals that look all pretty. Like, we're all pretty for you. Like, look at my peacock feathers. Hello. You know, because you got to attract a female. And this is like, I'm all stronger than you. Yeah, you should not. You know what? Now, back it up. Well, you know what you should be. You should not. You should be fighting each other to win my love is what you should be doing. Not fighting each other to try to steal me. That's not how it works. You got to put your horns on display. And I'm just like, yeah, you're not good enough. You're not. Yeah, you got the nice horns. You. I mean, technically in the demon world, they actually do have horns. I kind of forgot about that for a second, but it works, right? Anyway. With help from Sen and Kimigiku, we were able to flee from my father and Takeda. As we ran down the mountainous road, we'd arrived at a village. As soon as I took in the sights, however, an unmistakable rush of nostalgia came over me.
This is the Yase village where my clan lives in hiding.
Oh, it had been my first time ever stepping foot here, but I couldn't shake the strangest feeling of deja vu. Like I'd been in this exact spot a long time ago. You have been. When I first learned that I came from a demon family, I had my doubts, but the weird sensation of familiarity seemed to confirm my lineage to me in my heart at long last.
Entrance to our village is normally forbidden to humans, but considering his wounds, it cannot be helped.
Your generosity is deeply appreciated, Sen.
Pay it no heed. If she considers you a dear friend, then you are a dear friend to me as well. At least, you will be safe here from the outside matters concerning the Sasuma Choshu. Please, wait here for a moment. I'll have a room prepared for you at once. There he can rest.
Thank you, Sen. That's raining.
Sen led us to an old, quaint wooden building in the back of Yase village. Since we'd walked in, a feeling of serene grace warmed me with every step. With any hope, a positive aura of this village would do well to improve Iba. Or at least, this is what I hoped as I walked to replace his blood-soaked bandages. Just then...
Spacey, let's switch soon. You haven't slept since last night.
No, I'm fine. I'm not sleepy at all.
Oh, that I fake you. I really are.
I need to speak with you if you have a moment. Understandably so, you're occupied, but just a moment will do. Come with me.
The curtness of her request and demeanor read to me like Sen had something urgent to share. It was hard to leave Iba in his current state even for a second, but... Okay, I'll be right there. Sen and Kimigiko saved our lives. It would have been unbecoming for me to do them any disrespect, so I did whatever she asked of me.
This may have already come to your attention, but according to the village's doctor, Iba has lost a severe amount of blood already.
Right. Takeda's sword hadn't just left a flesh wound. Bones, arteries, and muscles were completely severed. Oh my god, stop it! Body. If it were a simple matter of stitching up a deep gash, it would have been easier, but even with Western medicine, there was nothing we could do to stop the bleeding. And that means...
From where it stands, he may never have the ability to wield a sword for the rest of his life.
Or use his arm. It's not even wield a sword. He's not going to be able to use that. It's just going to hang there. Sen sighed, rubbing her forehead delicately as she shared the news. He's going to become a fury. Then a rustle came from somewhere in the building. And then... Please, stay here. Their conversation is private. As I rushed to turn around, there stood... Why is he standing there? Your arm is falling off. Is what you say true? Iba looked at Sen, his face pale and sweaty. You're bleeding still, and your arm is hanging off. What are you doing walking around? You should be dead already. Oh. For a second, Sen seemed like she was about to answer, but she realized quickly that anything she said would only hurt him, so she nodded quietly, knowing how much pain it would cause him.
Yes, it is all true.
Hearing Sen's Iba's eyelids flickered. Then Iba shut his eyes tightly and crumbled down to his knees. Oh no, Iba, are you going to be okay? I rushed beside him, supporting his body as he looked close to collapsing.
Let us continue our conversation inside, but I'm unsure as to whether he would like to hear the rest of it, though.
Kimigiko and I helped Iba stand, and we returned inside. I apologize for that. I'm ashamed any of you had to see that. Iba's voice seemed to be a lot calmer compared to his initial reaction. His disappointment and shock were no small things to overcome. The manner in which his composure returned was impressive.
Shall we resume our conversation tomorrow morning? If you don't wish to hear it, I would not like to force it upon you.
Iba looked Sen straight in the eye and responded. I'm a warrior. My honor requires me to wield my sword until I physically cannot. Even if it means sacrificing my own life, I cannot regret such a path for myself. I take solace knowing that my injured limb is not a reflection of my own swordsmanship. His positive, earnest words brought some warmth to my worried heart. How was he able to hold his head high or keep himself from giving up? Like always, Iba was speaking from his heart with sincerity. I could see a lot of the Shinsengumi in him. Not that I find this to be a slight on anyone, much less Sonnen, but my inability to use my sword does not mean that I'm no longer a warrior. Even if I can't use my left arm, I still have my right arm. If I end up losing my right arm, I have my legs and mouth. What are you going to do? Hold a sword in your mouth like a little dagger? I can still fight. His spirit was unwavering, and the unrelenting politeness in his voice spoke volumes about him. Although the Shogunate army was not victorious, this is no indication for the Sasuma Choshu to make some significant impact to win our country over. There's still the chance for us to fight, so my battle is not over yet. Neither Sen, Kimigiko, or I could bring ourselves to interrupt him, listening to him speak. Honestly, what could any of us say? So, how was Takeda able to regain his arm? I'd heard rumors that any wound sustained on a fury could heal almost instantaneously. So had he been able to regenerate his arm after being severed? Or did it regrow? Please, Sen, I need to know. Sen gave a small sigh.
Very well, I'll tell you how. However, my story is a rather long one.
He's like, well, make it short because I'm dying of blood loss.
Just as she was about to oblige him, she turned like she'd heard something and looked at Kimigiku. Kindly check the outside, will you, Kiku? As you wish. Kimigiku bowed briefly and she went outside. I wondered what it was. Had someone been eavesdropping? Without a beat, Sen turned back to face Iba, continuing on. Iba, I certainly believe it's only natural for you to have the questions you have. However, this is no matter simply concerning the power of the Furies. This is an abnormal power in his arm. The demon's arm.
Demon's arm?
An angry Takeda fellow had not only given up his humanity as a Fury, but now he's been imbued with the power of demons as well.
There was regret in Sen's voice. So what's the deal with this demon's arm? And how in the world were my father or Takeda able to obtain such a thing?
As legend goes, our ancestral demon clans possessed far superior powers than your own. However, long ago, a battle with a neighboring clan of humans resulted in the then current demon lord to lose both of his arms. Attaching this arm, it was said, to any creature, especially humans, would result in untold catastrophe. That's why our ancestors had kept strict watch over his preserved limbs at Yase Village.
That's disgusting. Why would you preserve the limbs? Hearing about our ancestors in those demon clans, having it said aloud was a bizarre reality. However, the seriousness with which Sen spoke told me that it was no fairy tale or myth. After pausing for a moment to breathe, she turned to face me after grabbing my hand gently.
I hadn't told you then, and I shouldn't have, but... Oh, and I should have, but we too have been diligently searching for Kodo. Kodo had been continuing his Fury research in the West, where we were informed he was creating a new generation of Furies to sell off to domains. It appears the other day he was able to infiltrate the Yase village. Somehow he was able to steal the demon's arm, which had been guarded safely by our clan for ages.
Wait, are they gonna give Iba the other one? Because, like, Takeda's the right one, and there's obviously a matching set, right? Right, left? Ah! Oh my god, please don't. No, it'll be like you're filing those nails and you're not touching me with that thing.
Kiko and I sought to find Kodo in order to reclaim this artifact from him, but...
My hand began to shake as it rested in hers. Why had father done such a thing? The thought of him behaving so selfishly was shocking, even though I saw his deranged face. The fact alone that my father had been continuing his fury experiments meant lives were being lost. It pained me, and I welled with frustration, sadness, and unshakable guilt. I couldn't look up. Spacey, are you all right? If listening to this is difficult for you, you should step outside. I'll listen to her for you. I shook my head. If Iba, after losing his arm and being wounded, could be this strong, there was no way I could let my feelings get the better of me. If he's dying of blood loss, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Please continue. Sen nodded and she continued.
There's no question that the arm Takeda is using is the demon's arm stolen from Yase village. Under normal circumstances, there would be no way for a human to use a demon's. However, perhaps drinking the water of life gave him enough vitality as a fury to do so.
Sen bit her lips tightly.
As a result of Kodo's infiltration into our village, many demons were killed. Although he's your father, as the head of the Yase village, I cannot possibly forgive him.
Sen wasn't in the wrong for thinking this. Not only had my father time and time again caused problems for the Shinsengumi, but now he was committing crimes against his fellow people. My eyes were damp from the angry tears I was trying my best to restrain, but Iba, who up until this point had listened quietly, muttered aloud. I was mentally prepared to fight with my remaining arm. If this was a simple human conflict, I need only to swap my sword for a gun. However, as it stands, no matter how much I can try, there's no way I can defeat that man. I want power. Enough power to defeat that abomination Takeda and his demon's arm. Iba shut his eyes out of frustration, then he glanced over at me. Spacey, you said that you possess a vial of the water of life currently, do you not? My eyes grew wide. I told you! Girl, I said to give it to him. I was like, just give it to him now before he kills him. But now we're here and, yeah, give it to him. Otherwise his arm is going to hang there and what's he going to do? Like, swing his body to slap people maybe with his limp, dying arm? I mean, come on, girl. This poor dude, just give it to him. Just let him have it. The other one's like, oh, I got cut. You can live. You can move your arm still. I thought Sonic could still use his arm, just he couldn't wield a sword, but you know what I mean? It was just, like, weak. It wasn't completely chopped off. You know what I mean? It was like, he just didn't have the strength. Like, Okita didn't have the strength because of his tuberculosis, but
Not like this. Like this? How is he standing? I mean, shit, girl, you're gonna have to give it to him just so he doesn't die. His mention of this could have only meant one thing at this point. But before I could stop him, Iba continued, "Please give the serum to me. If I drink it, at the very least, I may stand a better chance than last time." I understood where Iba was coming from, but I can't do that. There was no way I could agree to this. I had watched both Sanan and Heisuke suffer closely. Every single one of your boyfriends is going to turn into a fury, like we know this. But Iba wouldn't back down. "Please, are you saying you would be okay with letting both your father and Takeda go unpunished?" I wasn't saying that, but then Iba spoke up in frustration. "This may be somewhat difficult for you to hear, but even if you were to consume the water of life, your arm will not regenerate." It's just a cut. It's only a flesh wound. "I know of no fury able to heal the damage that has been done to you." Iba looked pained and he hung his head low. However, Sen continued with a fierce determination shining from her eyes. "No. But if the demon's arm taken by Takeda was the right arm stolen from this village..." Before she finished, Sen pulled something out before the two of us. "No! Oh, but look how scary that arm is. I don't want that touching me." Yeah, my eyes grew wide and I gulped. If what Takeda had was the right arm, then what Sen was showing us was the left arm. Told you there was a matching set. I knew where this was going. "If Takeda was able to do so, then I believe it will work for you as well." Iba stared intently at the demon's arm. Sen! Considering her own responsibilities, it had only been natural that she would suggest this, but I still couldn't get myself to agree with it. To not only turn Iba into a fury, but to top it off, infuse into him the power of demons. Yeah, and that arm is creepy as fuck. I'd be like, you are not touching me with that. You're only allowed to touch me right-handed. But I'm a lefty. Well, you're gonna have to figure it out, buddy, because that hand is creepy, or you're file those fucking nails. "You have my apologies, Spacey. I don't wish for it to come to this either. If we want any hope of defeating Takeda and stopping Kodo from his work, this is the best hope we have. You can direct your anger towards me. Besides, when all is said and done, it will be for Iba to decide at the end." There was no way I could be angry at Sen. In fact, the reason why Sen was in this position at all to begin with was because of what my own father had done. Sen looked back at Iba once more. You know he's going to do it, right? I mean, come on. "I'm normally fundamentally opposed to the existence of Furies and would have never made such a suggestion otherwise. But you remember that I asked you before whether or not you had the resolve to protect her? I'll ask you once more. This arm holds within it a great ancient power, but with it also comes a curse. Once it is fused with you, there's no turning back, and the life you had lived as a human would cease, for you cannot interfere with human history." Iba's eyes fluttered. He would be giving up his humanity. Well, everybody else has given up their humanity, is all I'm saying, right? So, that meant he could no longer fight alongside the Shinsengumi, which for him was nearly unthinkable considering his longtime friends were a crucial part of himself. Even then, if you're willing to accept these conditions and are determined enough to give up all that you are for the sacrifice, then this power can be yours. I'll leave the decision to you. Because he's then technically, because he has a demon arm, he's like a demon? Huh. For a while, Iba stared back at the demon's arm, eventually closing his eyes and muttering to himself. Earlier I said I could fight with only one of my arms if need be. But that means nothing if I don't have the power to protect the person I care about most. Especially knowing people like them are involved with the Sasuma Choshu. Regardless, I'm sure that the demise of the Shogunate army is inevitable. So for me, there's nothing to think about. After Iba said this, he turned to face me once again. Spacey, if you could please give me the water of life. Even if it means giving up my humanity. The thought of losing my love would only hurt me more. Oh! Oh! What? What can I say? No. No! We're gonna do that later, but we're doing okay right now. So this is the only way, huh? It must have been an obvious question to Iba, but it still felt so wrong to me. Iba silently nodded. I don't know, because, like, they're Furies, so they're not really human, but you're not human, so maybe you can marry a human, but a Fury is, like, not a human or a demon, and I don't know, you kind of closer to a demon than, Anyway, Iba silently nodded. His clear eyes showed glowed resolutely. I don't know what that's supposed, something like that. Okay. Seeing his expression in this moment reminded me of the moment that Sonnen had decided to drink the water of life. His part's really fucking long, can I just tell you? Like, this chapter is amazing. Sonnen had mentioned that losing one's arm was essentially death to any swordsman. I suppose Iba had felt the same, both of them deeply committed to their duties as warriors. I was really just hoping that the water of life would heal his arm, because it's not off. It's healing his injury. His arm's not off. It's still attached to him. It's just lifeless and hanging there by literally a thread. To feel cornered, suffocating under the possibility of having no other real solution and choosing this. And I thought to myself that because I understood where Iba had been coming from, I couldn't bring myself to stop him. Honestly, I want nothing less than for you to become a fury. Or, have a demon arm, because that thing's creepy. My throat squeezed as the words left my mouth, but Iba smiled despite my insistence. Retaining my life as a human isn't important. Huh? I'm making this decision so that I can fulfill what is asked of me as a warrior. This is all I want. However, there's another reason, too. Can you guess what that is? To protect the thing you love the most? That would be me, because you said that out loud and we read it. I considered what it could be for a second, but no idea came to mind. Iba blushed tenderly, and his cheeks were rosy as he offered his answer. If you recall the insults that were levied against you for not being human, I think being human is overrated anyway. Oh, that's right. He was talking about the time Takeda had called me a beast. No, that can't have been it. If I look back far enough, I could recall a moment in our distant past. But where? When you were kids. Ah, that's right. It was during our childhood, as many other children would gather to play around the clinic. But children stopped coming to visit after a certain incident. At the time, some of the other children had acquired a ladder, climbing up to reach the clinic's roof. You guys, don't climb up there, you'll get hurt! However, no one listened to me. Oh, no one else listened to me. This is nothing, it's not that high! Someone had been pretending to be a firefighter and climbed up the ladder before it tipped over. Oh no, watch out! I lost sight of myself and ran to the ladder. Then... Ah! The ladder toppled over and I'd fallen with it. My arms received a deep cut from a stone beside me. Yikes! Ouch! Are you okay? Oh, you're bleeding! Oh, this is fine. This isn't too serious. It'll heal up. After saying this, after counting internally to 10, it healed completely. The neighborhood children widened their eyes in surprise, entranced by my healing powers. Then, wait, what? What just happened? You were bleeding a second ago. My wounds healed quite quickly. I didn't notice it until recently, and I didn't know it wasn't too common. The children didn't wait for me to finish. A monster! Some kind of weird healing monster! Oh. Before I could call them back, all of the children scattered from the yard. Okay, kids wouldn't call you. Okay, let me just be honest with you, kids. If you're like, look, I healed magically, they'd be like, you're like a fucking superhero! Sweet, let's go see what we can do! Let's see what happens if we push you off the roof, man. I mean, seriously. Kids these days would not run and call you a monster. They'd be like, sweet! You're like fucking healing man! You're like Wolverine, dude! That's awesome! Let's push you off the building and see what happens. I'm legit serious, right? Oh my god, hold on, I need to stretch my back. Oh my god, my back is so uncomfortable. Where you're going, Bert. My headset's gonna fall off. I'm like hanging upside down on my bed. Oh my god, it hurts. I have just like a cramp in my back, but okay. Before I could call them back, all of the children scattered from the yard. And the next day, other children had come to visit and see me at my house. For me, it was normal for my injuries to heal quickly, and I didn't know any differently. Never in my wildest imagination did I expect people to show surprise, let alone hatred toward me because of something like that. And it didn't end there. Hey, monster! Why don't you hurry up and leave Ito? The children began flinging rocks at the clinic, and I could see the passersby whispering rumors about me as they walked by our clinic. What kind of child would have the foresight to know that their body was any different? Even so, every child I had grown up or played with learned to treat me with seething contempt. People hated what they didn't know. They didn't know me, and it crushed me inside to believe it. Just then... Hey, who's throwing rocks over here? What if someone got hurt? Iba, who I'd called Hachiro back then, was studying my father's books, came running out of my father's clinic. Wait, Ichiro, it's okay. What do you mean it's okay? I couldn't bring myself to speak. I stayed silent. If I had told Ichiro what I was, even he might begin to hate me. If you don't tell me, I won't know. Let me help you. He quietly urged me to speak up. So I timidly told him, It's my fault they're making fun of me. I can't stop it. Ichiro seemed to have a word stuck on the tip of his tongue, waiting to respond, but then, Is it so bad to be different than other people? Huh? Well, if I were different than other children, would you hate me? I shook my head. Ichiro had always been so kind to me. I loved him. Even if he were different, nothing could change how I felt about him. Right? I'm the same way. You're not a monster. You're just an ordinary girl. His words seemed to heal the wounds that were hurting my heart. However, for your own safety, it may be better for you to keep your healing powers to yourself. Keep it a secret from everyone else. You may have your feelings hurt again in the future. Okay. Why the long face? I'm not trying to make you feel ashamed. Hachiro had been able to settle a lot of the uneasiness in my heart, but the pain of losing all my friends to this lie that I was some monster was a little hard to assuage. Bird, you're sitting in my face. Oh no, what should I do? Don't be sad. Oh, I know. If anyone makes fun of you, I'll beat them up. Beat them up? You? His figure was slender like a little girl's. And the thought of him becoming a warrior was so strange to me that I couldn't help but question him. It'll be fine. I haven't been practicing too much, but from now on I'll make sure to work diligently on my fencing. If it means I can protect my dear friend. The brightness of his wide smile felt even more warm than usual. And just like that, I felt many of my worries slip away from under me. I owe it to you for becoming a serious swordsman. If it means I can spend another day looking into your beautiful face, I'll forfeit my humanity. Please, for me, my love, let me truly show you how I can truly protect you. Oh my god. He called us his love like twice. This is most romance ever. Again, it's because they wrote this in after the fact. So, but still.
Oh, it's about time we got some romance, guys. Can we just bask in this for a moment? Also, I need to stretch again. Oh, let's bask in this. Bask in the ambiance of being his love. I wish I could read upside down because I would turn my bouncy ball around and I would just read this upside down, but it would be so difficult. But oh my god, I need to stretch my back. And this feels so good just hanging upside down on my bouncy ball. It's just curved to my back right now. Oh. I need a massage. Somebody send a masseuse.
Oh, okay, hold on. It's gonna take a minute for me to get back up. Oh god, I'm gonna fall. I'm literally gonna fall because I'm laughing. I'm trying to roll and the bird is running all over the place on me, and I'm trying not to knock the damn bird off. I'm trying to be careful and not squish him. Oh, bird. Anyway. Iba stared at me with an unwavering disposition. My love for him made my heart heavy with worry. However, if Iba's true purpose was to live life by the sword, there's only one thing I could do to help him. I reached into the pocket and grabbed the glass vial to place in front of him. His voice trembled. Thank you so much. He held the bottle, looking at it with a peculiar sense of wonder, and placed it back into his pocket. Just then, Princess, I have news for you. We're gonna do this fast. Kiku, did something happen? Kodo and Takeda have broken through our seal, and they've infiltrated the village. They're heading directly for us. What? Do it now! You two get out of here! For them to put forth such effort to come back here, I can only think means they're coming for you, Spacey. I nodded back to her sternly, and Iba and I gathered ourselves to leave the room. Ah! I heard the sound of flesh being sliced open, along with a brutal, blood-curdling scream. Then, a man covered in blood burst in, falling to the floor. This man, I think he was the one who had been guarding the entrance to the building. Sen glared angrily in the direction of the forest. Shortly afterward, a figure was approaching us casually, someone I had no desire to see. We're gonna have to do this fast, guys. I had a feeling you were here, Spacey. Father, Takeda, we're What are you doing here? Did you really have to ask? Is it not so obvious? I've come back for you, my child. My, what a troublesome one you are. That is not what she was asking. How dare the two of you show your faces here? Senate stood in an indignant rage, glaring at my father. Father, however, seemed unfazed. When we last met, I was rudely interrupted, but you're still no match for me. Kimigiko readied her stance, preparing herself to fight Takeda, but... too slow. Don't you kill Kimigiko! Takeda seemed to move 3 paces quicker. Ugh. Flustered by the rapid swings of Takeda's fists, Kimigiko was eventually thrown to the side. This is nothing. He gazed over Kimigiko's body on the floor and turned to face Iba. Still kicking around, eh? Guess human bodies are a little sturdier than I give them credit for. Ugh. Iba unsheathed his sword, bracing himself to block a strike from Takeda. Too slow, dumbass! Takeda anticipated Iba's counterattack, intercepting his sword easily, seriously, right before he turns. If it came to the two of them engaged in hand-to-hand combat, there was no way Iba could stand a chance. Ugh. Both he and his sword were flung aside. What could I do? I knew that I wasn't really any match for Takeda. However, abandoning Iba and Kimigiko to escape was not an option. Yeah, jump in front. They're not going to stab you. Though my hands were trembling, I nervously reached for the kodachi on my hips. What are you doing? You know that you stand no chance against Takeda, don't you? I mean, I don't mind just finishing him off nice and slow here, but I owe Kodo a favor after all he's done. So Yukimura, you're coming with me. Gah! I had a small window of time to find an opening into which I could strike Takeda. You should stab your father instead. However, a hateful aura radiated from his entire body, intimidating me from stepping forward. Oh, God, you're such a fucking wimp. Could have at least tried. You're like, and then you... Jesus. I had to close my ears, blocking out the hateful thoughts to step forward and conquer the fear. You don't mind, do you, Spacey? Even if we left Kodo be, the Shogunate army seems to be heading towards an inevitable defeat. Even if it means cutting myself from the rest of humankind, I'll choose this path. I heard the shattering of glass. Then... Ugh, but gross. What the... Takeda's eyes were wide with shock. You bastard! Well, what's with your arm? Why are you asking such a foolish question? You should know by now. There was a coldness to Iba's tone, puffing his chest and arms up confidently. Takeda furrowed his brows, scowling at Iba as his teeth gritted from hatred. Here's the thing, even though now they're equally matched as Furies with demon arms, Iba would still win in a fight over Takeda because he's just a better man. / now not man, demon thing. A weird man-demon hybrid Frankenstein monster. He's just a better one, that's all I'm saying. Got it. So you drank the water of life as well, eh? Now you've got yourself an arm to match. Guess it was only a matter of time before you become some blood-sucking beast, too. Be like, that's you now. Yes, just like you. Hachiro Iba. He drank the water of life and became a fury. Upon losing his left arm in battle, he replaced it with the demon's arm. Okay, but he didn't actually lose his arm fully. It was hanging on by a thread. So what did he do? Just like, okay, slap, like, I'm gonna chop my arm off, slap this one on, drink the water. I mean, that was just fast work is all I'm saying. Iba responded stoically, continuing on with a fixed gaze upon Takeda. However, let me tell you one thing. The difference between you and me is that I've invited this power unto myself willingly. Although we've both lost our sword arms and replaced them with demonic powers, the way we use these powers will be for separate purposes. The powers I've gained are going to be used to protect the people I love and to uphold what I believe is right. The floor shook beneath Iba as he gathered his strength, causing Takeda to step back slowly. Oh, Iba. Now you have a scary arm and I don't like it. But see, also, you're not left-handed, so you didn't need that arm. That's all I'm saying. Immediately, Iba had unsheathed his sword, and by the time I blinked, he'd already closed the distance between himself and Takeda. See, that's the thing I don't get, right? That's what I always thought. He's a righty, so he doesn't need his left arm anyway. Sweetie, you didn't need the left arm. We just needed to, like, cauterize it so that you just have a stump. It would have been fine. You know what I mean? You probably should have taken the water of life, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to fight. But, whatever. I mean, now you got this creepy figure. Like, girl, you need to file those nails, though. Their swords danced in a flurry of movements too quick to see with my eyes, and Iba's newfound strength and speed made his display masterful. Damn it! Takeda struggled to keep up with the pace of Iba's barrage of strikes, panting in the frenzy. If there was a question of which of the two demons was stronger, it was clear Iba had the advantage, because he's fighting for the power of love. It appears we've reached an impasse here. It would be unwise for you to lose what great progress you've made in your new form. It would be in our best interest to retreat for now. What did you say, you bastard? You can kill him any other time. Do you want to die from your own stubbornness? Reluctantly, Takeda heeded my father's words, sheathing his sword back into his scabbard. Do you want to die from your own stubbornness? No, he's going to die from that haughty attitude. Do you see that? He just puts it, how haughty I am. Huh! His hair is glorious. You may have the upper hand this time, but next time we meet, I'm slicing off that pretty head of yours. Brace yourself, Hachiro Iba. Wait! I'd rushed up to stop them, but Father and Takeda vanished like mist without a trace. After we had regrouped ourselves, we sat with Sen and Kimigiko about what to do next. The two of us will lead a pursuit after them in order to retrieve the demon's arm once more. Will both of you be okay? Just earlier, it seemed like neither of them stood a chance against Takeda. If they were to meet again on the battlefield, how would the outcome be any different? We do not have many other options. We must avenge the fallen demons murdered by him. Fighting him head-on will be a little tough, but sometimes battles require alternative strategies. Sen and Kimigiko seemed set in their resolve to find him, but I could sense what felt like a little bit of nervousness towards what was about to come. I'm aware I may be repeating myself, but Iba, your powers are something that shan't be shown to any humans with whom you make contact. You're to never use your power against humans. You understand this, right? Yes, I understand. In any other circumstance, I would have found the use of the water of life as reprehensible. And as far as you're concerned, Iba, although I accept what you become, I do not accept you as one of our own. Princess, you're not making any sense. Thank you, Sen. I don't know how I can ever repay you. I can't thank you enough. You have nothing to thank me for. If we had other options, I could have done something to save someone dear to your heart from becoming a fury. Don't say that. Until we see how this battle ends, I suppose. Now, Spacey, we should head out soon. Claw hand. Ah! Creepy. Okay, please, Sen and Kimigiku, be careful. I'll be holding onto this arm for a while. When the time comes, I shall return it. After we said our goodbyes, we bowed to them, walking out of the village back to Osaka Castle. I have no idea how the fight against Takeda and Father will turn out, but for now, ours is another path. I'm gonna return this arm, and what are you gonna do? Are you gonna die? I don't know. All we can do now is move forward, no matter what awaits us. With a newfound resolve for the future, Iba and I made our descent down the path of the mountain. Maybe if we have a low affection, bad ending, he dies because he doesn't put the arm on. I don't know. After becoming separated from Sen, we had left the Yase village to head towards Osaka Castle. We happened to sneak past what was left of the Sasuma Choshu troops a few times. 4 days had passed since the fighting broke out, and on January 7th, we'd finally arrived at Osaka Castle. We're here. We're finally here. Seeing the majestic castle filled me with an incredible amount of relief. The Shinsengumi men are all here. Iba looked up, marveling at the grand castle as it loomed over the moonlit forest. I too felt quite overwhelmed by the view, but it seemed like Iba's expression indicated he was stuck on something he couldn't shake off. Eventually he turned to look at me. Spacey, I have a favor to ask of you. What is it? I had no idea what favor he could possibly be thinking of at a time like this, so I waited nervously for him to continue. Please, keep the fact that I've taken the water of life a secret from the rest of the Shinsengumi. What? But I could understand that he may not have wanted his longtime friends to know he'd become a Fury, but his health could dwindle in the future, and it wasn't like being a Fury was something you could hide forever. However, Iba seemed to read the concern in my face, and he continued, I won't say that it'll be a secret forever. I will, of course, tell them when the time comes. For now, though, I just can't bring myself to do so. Iba watched the moonlight radiate. Yeah, what are they gonna ask? Like, what happened to your arm? Nothing. Why do you have claws on your hand? No reason. It's just the bandages. Spacey does a shitty job bandaging. And I'm gonna be like, yes, I do a shitty job with bandaging. I just figured he could scratch people to death with it. I don't know. Iba watched the moonlight radiate its cold light behind the clouds above. I mean, how do you hide that arm? How are they not gonna know? It's got 8-foot-long nails. It's creepy. Was it for my sake that he seemed conflicted about all of this? I mean, if you were to wear, like, if it was a normal arm and it didn't have the 8-foot-long nails, you could put a glove on, right? My arm's so scarred and disfigured from the fight, I wear gloves now. But not when you have 500-foot-long nails. Just poke people in the eyes with them. Ugh. So, how have you been feeling? So far, I haven't sensed anything too strange. As a matter of fact, I feel rather energetic compared to before. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. Iba hadn't seemed to suffer any of the afflictions that came with becoming a fury or attaching to himself the demon's arm. In my heart, though, I had made a wish, even if I knew it may not come to anything. I prayed that the water of life, nor Iba's new demonic limb, would do him any harm. Hey, someone's approaching us. I gasped, looking up to see. 2 shadows crept from the distance, walking towards us. So you know it's some of our friends, right? Who's there? Shimada and Soma! Both of you are safe! We'll date Soma later. You barely ever see him. This is the most we've ever seen him. Yukimura! Goodness, we were worried sick about you. I'm fine. Iba saved me and escorted me back here safely. We owe a debt of gratitude, Iba. Seriously, thank you. There is no need to thank me. Are Toshi and the others safe? Yes, currently he's meeting with the other captains for our next course of action. Our next course of action? Right, huh. Well, the Shinsengumi will have to prepare for their next attack on the Susumu Choshu. After Hachiro offered up his suggestion, Shimada and Soma looked at one another, falling silent. Is something the matter? After a beat, Iba seemed to catch on to the pause in the conversation, prompting him to ask. We'll tell you the details inside. This way. Dun dun dun. I'm actually gonna end this part here. Because we're going a little over time and this is going to take a little bit longer. Plus, we still have to do the bad and unrequited love ending. So even if we continued this and got the ending in like the next 10 minutes or so, there's still going to be. So that next part will probably be short, but we're still going to have one more part. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.